بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين جل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. We discussed some of the points at the end of chapter 4 of 5th section. As you remember, Chapter 4 في الجنس والفصل والنوع وبعض ما يلحق بذلك. It was about genus and differentia and no and some of the things that relate to them. We studied the first 2 points at the end of the chapter and we reached point 3. The point 3 is that for the same type of mahiyya, the same type of beings, we cannot have two alternative jins or two alternative fasl. Because if jins is changed, the whole no will change. Or if fasl is changed, the no is changed. For example, insan is haywan natiq. Can we replace haywan with something and still be insan? It's not possible. Or replace natiq and still be insan? No. If you have haywan and replace fast, it becomes another animal. Yeah? That is the difference between insan and faras and bakar. The difference is in fast. So if fast is changed, no is changed. Also, if jins is changed, no is changed. Actually, if jins is changed, fast also will change. And no also will change. Because different types of animal cannot be different types of something else. Yeah? So, the third point, أن من الممتنع, it's impossible أن يتحقق جنسان في مرتبة واحدة. We cannot have two gens at the same level. Yes, we can have جنس قريب, جنس بعيد, جنس قريب, جنس متوسط in different levels, but not at the same level. وكذا فصلان في مرتبة واحدة. We cannot have two differential or two fast at the same level. لنوع, for one type of being. Why? لاستلزام ذلك كون نوع واحد نوعين. Because this would imply that one type of being or mahiyya becomes two. Because if you have haywan and you have something else, then it becomes, the result is different. You cannot have insan, but some insans are haywan, some insans are not haywan. Or some insans are natiq and some are not natiq. It's not possible. Point 4. Point 4 is a repetition of what we discussed before. That jins and madda are very similar. Fasl and surah are also very similar. The only difference is in i'tibarat. You know, the considerations. If jins is taken bishart Allah, then it becomes madde. Because madde cannot be used as mawzu and mahmul. Madde is a complete mahiyya. Surah also cannot be mawzu or mahmul. So, madde and surah are bishart la, means bishart, adam al-haml. They cannot be used as predicate or subject for each other. We cannot form a proposition by bringing madde and surat. Because madde and surat are reality, mahiyat outside, real mahiyat. But jins and fast are the same thing in mind. Jins and fast can be used as subject and predicate. You can say, al-haywanun natiqun, hadha al-natiq, haywanun. So, jins and madde are the same, except one is bishart la, the other one is la bishart, with respect to hamd. Fasl and surah are also the same. Just one of them is bishart la, which is fast, and one is la bishart, which is fast, and one is bishart la, which is surat, because surat cannot be used as mawdu mahmud. This is what Ibn Sina has said, and we have said this few times in the recent sessions. أن من الممتنع أن يتحقق جنسان في مرتبة واحدة. It's impossible to have two jins at the same level. وكذا فصلان في مرتبة واحدة لاستلزام ذلك كون نوع واحد نوعين. This would imply that one no becomes two. رابعا أن الجنس والمادة متحدان ذاتا. Jins and madda are identical in essence, essentially they are the same. مختلفان اعتبارا, but they are different in the way we consider them. فالمادة إذا أخذت لا بشرط, if madda is considered لا بشرط, means لا بشرط الحمل, كانت جنسا, it becomes jins. كما أن الجنس إذا أخذ بشرط لا كان مادة. If jins becomes بشرط لا, means بشرط عدم الحمل, becomes madda. The same relation exists between surah and fasl. As كذا السورة فصل إذا أخذت لا بشرط, كما أن الفصل سورة إذا أخذت بشرط لا. It's the same thing.
What is the difference shart Allah and la bishart? What's the difference?
You remember we said there are three considerations, three etibarat. Bishart shay, bishart Allah, la bishart. Yeah? Sometimes we say mahiya with one condition. Sometimes we say mahiya without that condition. Sometimes we say it doesn't make difference. When we were talking about bishartillah, then we said there are two meanings for bishartillah. One meaning was this, which Ibn Sina has said. Bishartillah means bishart adam al-haml. So, if you consider the common part in the way that can be used as mawzu' and mahmul, it becomes jins. Because Natiqiyya belongs to Haywaniyya. Natiqiyya is surah for Haywaniyya. As long as you consider them as two mahiyya which are in outside, there is no haml. It becomes madda and surah. But if you bring them to the mind as two concepts that can be used as subject and predicate, they become jins and fast. This is the idea. وَاعْلَمْ أَنَّ الْمَادَّةَ فِي الْجَوَاهِرِ الْمَادِّيَّةِ. Madda in material, physical substances, like stone, wood, plants, animals, human beings. موجودة في الخارج. Madda exists outside. We will talk about madda later, but madda exists outside. But this is about jawahir, about substances. What about a'rad? For example, color. Color is one of the a'rad because color is kayf. One type of kayf is mahsus because we have kayf mahsus, we have kayf nafsan. Kayf mahsus is mubsar or masmu or kada. Kayf mubsar is either color or other things, and color can be different colors. So, as you see, you can have a line of jins and fast, and finally you reach certain color. But philosophers say there is a difference here when you have jins and fasl, and when you have, for example, for insan, you say جوهر ذو أبعاد ثلاثة نام حساس متحرك بالإرادة الناطق. In the case of Jawhar, because it's madde and surat, they exist. So even outside, they exist. In the case of a'raz, philosophers believe a'raz are basit. They are simple. They have no, parts. So it is only in our mind that we divide and classify them by bringing something as the common point and something as exclusive point. But these are not real, parts outside. Because it's basit, something which is basit has no parts outside. So these jins so fast are not really madde wa surat. It's just for the sake of analysis. أما الأعراض فهي بسيطة غير مركبة في الخارج. They are basit, they are not murakkab في الخارج. If you remember last year I asked you a question. And I said, think about it. Why we take Jawhar as jins, but araz, we don't take it as jins. We say there are 9 araz, not 1 araz and 1 Jawhar. Then Jawhar becomes 5, araz becomes 9, which will be 14. 2, 14. Why we say Jawhar and 9 araz? Because araz is not jins. Araz is not jins for those 9. أما الأعراض فهي بسيطة غير مركبة في الخارج. They are simple, not compound in the real world. ما به الاشتراك فيها عين ما به الامتياز. When two simple things differ, they differ in every aspect. Yeah? They cannot have one common aspect and one exclusive aspect. If there is a compound and another compound, sometimes they differ 100%, sometimes they have something in common. Yeah? But when two basit things differ, they differ in everything. أما العقل يجد فيها مشتركات. Aql finds in them some commonalities, some similarities, ومختصات, and some particularities, some exclusive things. Then Aql says, I call this jins, I call this fasl, but they are not really jins and fasl, because jins and fasl have to be corresponding to madde and surat, which are separate from each other outside. In araz, we don't have madde and surah. ثم يعتبرها بشرط الله. So Aql considers jins and fasl, then considers them بشرط الله, means بشرط عدم الحمل, in order to become madde and surah. But what type of madde and surah? Are these madde surah khariji, external? No. Only aqli. It is only in aql that they are madde and surat. They are separate. Otherwise, we have one reality. 5th chapter, في بعض أحكام الفصل. This chapter is about some of the things that relate to fasl only, to differential. Next chapter is about no', but this is only about fasl. This, inshallah, is not very difficult. They say we have 2 types of fasl. Fasl mantiqi, fasl ishtiqaqi. Means fasl in a logical sense, or fasl ishtiqaqi, which is the origin from which real difference comes, but because we may not have access to it, we use fasl mantiqi. What is fasl mantiqi? When you study logic, they tell you insan is haywan and natiq. Okay, they say natiq is fasl. What is natiq? If you mean by natiq to speak, means to create voice, this is not a type of substance, yeah? To create voice is an action. If you say ability to understand kulliyat, you say not comes from, because logos. Logos in Greek meant aql also. So word and aql are very similar to each other. Word and aql. And therefore Muslims used nutq, but it means to understand kulliyat. So if you say to understand kulliyat, even understanding kulliyat is ilm, and ilm is kayf nafsani. So it's not jawhar. So whether you say to speak, whether you say to understand kulliyat, none of them is jawhar, because fasl should refer to jawhar, yeah, to surat, which is jawhar. Or, for example, when they want to define faras, horse, they say haywan sahil. Sahil comes from the root sad ha lam, which is used for the a special voice that or noise that horses make. What is it called? Neighing. Yes, neighing. But is this jawhar? Is this really differential? No. So, or for example, for donkey, hemar, they say nahiq, for a special voice for donkeys. So, they say we use not necessarily real fasl here. We use something which is maybe accidental to the essence of faras or donkey or human being. Is accidental, but it's exclusive. Araz khassa. You remember we said we have 5 types: jins, fasl, no, araz am, araz khas, or khasse. Araz khas or khasse is exclusive araz for something, exclusive, accidental. When you say natiq, everyone understands that this is only for human beings. When you say sahil, everyone understands that this is for horse. So, because it's very difficult, people like Ibn Sina say it's very difficult, or sometimes maybe even impossible for us to identify the real fasl for something. How can you really say this is what makes a human being human being? If you want to make a distinction between, for example, horse, donkey, monkey, cow, and human beings, are you able to point at the real differential for each of them? They say it's either very difficult or impossible. So what we do is we use fasl mantiqi, means something for the sake of discussion. Yeah, for teaching purposes, educational purposes, we bring something which is indeed not zati. It is khas. It's araz khas. Yeah, means exclusive, accidental concept. فالفصل المنطقي ينقسم الفصل نوعا قساما. One type of classification of fasl is to divide it into mantiqi and ishtiqaqi. فالفصل المنطقي means fasl in logic or logical differential, means or differential logic. هو أخص اللوازم التي تعرض النوع وأعرفها. The most exclusive thing that comes not as essential but as aras for it, and something which is very well known, most known thing. If you say speaking, they realize human being. If you say neighing, means horse. وهو إنما يؤخذ ويوضع في الحدود مكان الفصول الحقيقية. It is taken and put in definitions in the place of real differentia لصعوبة الحصول غالبا على الفصل الحقيقي. Because it's most of the time, غالبا means most of the time, it's very difficult to find out the real differentia. الذي يقوم النوع. The real differentia which is essential and makes that type of being what it is. كالناطق للإنسان. ناطق is فصل منطقي. الساهل للفرس. ساهل is منطقي, فصل منطقي for horse, not real fast. Why you cannot take this as the real fast which is inside mahiyya, which is muqawwim, which constitutes the mahiyya? Why it's not possible? Because what do you mean by nutq? Either you mean nutq بمعنى التكلم, to speak. هو من الكيفيات المسموعة. Voice is كيف مسموع, means a type of كيف which is heard. كيف means quality. A quality which is heard. Of course, if you are careful, I didn't say كيف مسموع. I said action, because نطق is مقولة أن يفعل, speaking. If it is a speech, then it is voice, which is كيف مسموع. But if it is to speak, then it is مقولة أن يفعل. In any case, it is not jawhar. Either it is the act of speech or a speech itself, it's not jawhar. Or you mean إدراك الكليات. إما النطق بمعنى إدراك الكليات, to understand universal concepts. This is also a type of knowledge, and it is كيف نفساني, or the act of understanding, which would be again مقولة أن يفعل. والكيفية كيف ما كانت, quality, whatever it is, whether it is كيف مسموع, whether it is كيف نفساني, whether it is كيف مبصر, whatever quality is aras, is not jawhar. الكيفية كيف ما كانت, quality, whatever it might be, is أعراض, من الأعراض, is from أعراض. والعرض لا يقوم الجوهر. Aras cannot constitute substance. Fast constitutes real fast. مقوم, it's inside mahiyya, it's zati. وكذا السهيل for horse. ولذا ربما كان أخص اللوازم أكثر من واحد. And sometimes it happens that when they want to have something which is very exclusive, they find two things at the same level. For example, when they want to say, what is haywan? They say, jismun namen, this is jismun namen is gens. But for fasl, they mention two things. Hassas mutaharrik bil irada. Means hassas plus mutaharrik bil irada. These two together becomes fast. Hassas mutaharrik bil irada. Why they don't mention just hassas or just mutaharrik bil irada? Because two of them are very well known. That every haywan is hassas and is also moving voluntarily. Okay? But if it was real fast, it cannot be two. So sometimes أخص اللوازم أكثر من واحد. It is more than one. فتوضع جميعا. So both of them or all of them will be put in the place of real fast. It substitutes real fast. كما يؤخذ الحساس. حساس means the one which has sensation. Yeah, حيوان has sensation. والمتحرك بالإرادة. And moves by will, by its own decision. They put these two faslan lil haywan. وَلَوْ كَانَ فَصْلًا حَقِيقِيًّا لَمْ يَكُنْ إِلَّا وَاحِدًا. If it was real fast, it has to be one. As we said before, real fast is one. The second meaning of fasl is al-faslul ishtiqaqi. Ishtiqaq means to derive, to take, to extract. Shaqqa, ishtaqqa. If you remember in al-musarf, we had jamid and mushtaq. Yeah, mushtaq is the word which is taken from a root. Al-faslul ishtiqaqi is the origin for fasl mantiqi. So, insan must be something which leads to nutq. What is that thing which is the cause, the origin for nutq? That is the real fasl. هو الفصل الحقيقي المقوم للنوع. That's the real fast which constitutes that type of mahiyah. ككون الإنسان ذا نفس ناطقة في الإنسان. Insan being something which has nafs natiqa. We don't know what is that for, perhaps, or it is easier for us at least to say something which has nafs natiqa, because we know nafs natiqa might not be, as we said, natiqa is not real fasl, because nutq is not jawhar. But we say there is something that has this type of khas, this type of aras. Yeah, what is in reality that has this as its outcome? ككون الإنسان ذا نفس ناطقة في الإنسان أو كون الفرس ذا نفس ساحلة في الفرس. With respect to insan, to be something which has nafs natiqah, means a speaking or understanding soul. Or for sahil, for faras, to have a soul which is neighing.
So what is the root word from sahil?
Sahil.
Sahil
Sahil
is the actual root word, name.
Sahil.
Sahil.
Sad ha ya lam. But the root is sad ha lam, but it comes like five. Then there is something very, very important. As you remember, in Ilmul Akhlaq we discussed this, in Aqaid we discussed this. I told you this is a very good thing to talk to the people who may not be religious. And that is أن حقيقة الشيء بفصله الأخير. I told you this is discussed in philosophy. The reality of everything is determined and decided by its last differential. Remember we talked about this. What makes a human being human being? Jism? No. Nami? No. Hassas mutarrif? No. Because all of them can be found in other things. What makes insan insan? Although all of them are needed, but actually what determines is natiq, the last one. And that is fasl akhir, the last differential. You remember I told you example, for example, you want to buy al-mizan, just to have paper, to have books, to have, from Allama Tabatabai in Arabic, tafsir, none of them is enough. Although 90% of al-mizan is these things, but you say, no, I want it for that last part, which is exclusive. Yeah? So, إن حقيقة النوع هي فصله الأخير. The reality of every type of mahiyah is decided by its last differential. Why? وذلك لأن الفصل المقوم هو محصل نوعه. Because that last one which constitutes the mahiyah is the one which determines that type of being. Muhassil. Because if you remember, we said jins huwa nu' mubhaman wal fasl huwa nu' muhassalan. If you say haywan, okay, I don't know what type of thing is this. Many things can be haywan. But as soon as you say natiq, I know that it is insan. Yeah? So the last differentia is the one which determines the mahiyya. So, ما أخذ في أجناسه وفصوله الأخر على نحو الإبهام مأخوذ فيه على وجه التحصل. Whatever is taken in its, different genus that it has, last one, before that, or different differentia, whatever is there in a way which is not clear, which is ambiguous, which is not determined, is in the last differentia, but with determination. If you say natiq, we can understand everything about it. Although natiq by itself is not the complete mahiyya, but that determines everything. Yeah? It's like, for example, if you say, for example, al-alimul faqih. If you say just alim, or if you say a human being who has knowledge, it's not clear what type of knowledge. But if you say al-faqih, you realize that it is alim also. And it is a human being also. So that determines everything. وَيَتَفَرَّعُ عَلَيْهِ. So based on this rule, which is very important, حَقِيقَةُ الشَّيْء بِفَصْلِهِ الْأَخِيرِ. Reality of everything is decided by its very last differential. Based on this, we realize أَنَّ هَذِيَّةَ النَّوْعِ بِهِ. هَذِيَّة is masdar sana'i from هَذَا. هَذِيَّةَ النَّوْعِ means to be, in English, I don't know, they say this, of course, philosophers can say everything. Thisness. Thisness. Haziyah means thisness. Means to be this. Okay.
Is that the same as whatness then?
Yes. Philosophers, make these things. We have to stretch language. إن هذية النوع به means thisness of this type of being, species, is with this. فَنَوْعِيَّةُ النَّوْعِ مَحْفُوظَةٌ بِهِ. It is preserved by this. If it is there, no is there. وَلَوْ تَبَدَّلَ بَعْضُ أَجْنَاسِهِ. Even if supposedly, you can keep fasl and change some of the ajnas, it remains the same. If you can change the fast, keep the fast and change some ajnas, it's okay.
But even then, Sheikh, I can change the basic ajnas like before the fast, right?
Yeah.
So if you change the ajnas, then what's the point of the fast?
No, because this is very important thing for our future discussions. Because they believe that the main thing for us is, haywaniya in human beings becomes complete with natiqiyya. You cannot have natiq without haywaniya, but to begin with. Sometimes this haywaniya can grow and then be no longer haywan. And that is when it becomes mujarrad. So therefore, it's possible that this genus later becomes independent from that fasl.
Take it to science. If you change the genus, then the species changes. Now this Homo sapiens,
Changes into a new thing or into a thing which has developed.
For example, if we don't make it as a mammal, and we make it as a Piscean or whatever, another genus.
Yes. No, because human beings have this potential. That, and this is why Mullah Sadra has a beautiful point. I think I said this in Akhlaq too. Mullah Sadra says, indeed, human beings are not one no. They are anwa. Mullah Sadra says human beings, because they can be substantially different from each other, essentially different. You know, if you take horses, more or less they are the same. If there is any difference in aras, you don't have one horse which is very much different from another horse in essence. But when it comes to human beings, you can have a very big contrast, which would make it impossible to say they belong to the same type of mahiyya. Okay? So, some of them are worse than animals, some of them are better than angels. So, they look like human beings, but if you are able to look at their nafs, they see they are very much different from each other. Of course, for our normal treatment, we treat everyone who looks like human being as human being.
I think that would be, if you're, as you said, if you're looking at it with respect to the nafs.
Pardon?
That would be the case if you're looking at with respect to the nafs.
Yes, because nafs al-natiqah is our fasl.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we said fasl is the same as surah. Fasl and surah are the same. So, what makes us what we are is our fasl, which is our surah, which is nafs al-natiqah. So, if this nafs al-natiqah is there, and even if the fasl is changed, body can change, for example. No problem.
Is natiqah associated with the soul?
Yeah. If you take it literally, no. But if you mean what is behind, this is like a mask to refer to the real one. The real one is the soul. لو فنوعية النوع, the special type that this note has, محفوظة بالفصل الأخير. It is preserved with last differential. وَلَوْ تَبَدَّلَ بَعْضُ أَجْنَاسِهِ, even if somewhat its gens is changed. أو كذا لو تجردت صورته التي هي الفاس بشرط الله عن المادة التي هي الجن. If the surah and madda are separated from each other, again, it remains the same thing, because the reality is by fasl or by surah, which is the same as fasl. بقي النوع على حقيقته نوعيته. حقيقة نوعية. It remains on the same type of thing that it has, like لو تجردت النفس الناطقة عن البدن. If نفس الناطقة is separated from body, or nafs al-natiqah, as I said, according to Mullah Sadra, can be very much different. So it can be the same even without body, and it can be different even if the body is there.
Even in the earthly existence.
Pardon?
According to Mullah Sadra, even in your earthly existence,
Yeah.
you will differentiate in their nafs quality.
Yeah, because nafs in its essence is not maddi. Yeah, because it's mujarradun zatan. Nafs is jawharun mujarradun zatan. But in action needs maddi. In zat is mujarrad. Thumma in al-fas. The last thing, which is a little bit difficult. But inshallah, you understand. Fasl does not occur under its gens. It's a very subtle point here, very subtle. You know, insan, faras, baqar, they are all different types of haywan. Okay? There are different types of haywan. But you cannot say natiq is one type of haywan. You can say insan is one type of haywan, but you cannot say natiq is technically one type of haywan. Why? Because natiq has no jins and fas, it's basit. Okay? So natiq doesn't occur under jins. Because if fas occurs under jins, then it needs another fasl. Yeah? If you say natiq is haywan with something, then that fasl also again needs another fasl. The reality is that fasl is basit, is simple. So this is why we said the relation between jins and fasl, when you want to predicate, is haml shaye, not haml zati. You remember? Because none of them is in the other's essence. It's very important. So, you have to remember that many times we may count different types for something, but this doesn't mean that technically these are different essential types of it. As we also said about a'raz, we said they are not different types of araz. They are not falling under araz really. So, إن الفصل غير مندرج تحت جنسه. Fasl does not occur or fall under its corresponding jins. For example, natiq and haywan. Or حساس متحرك بالإرادة and جسم نامي. Or نامي and جسم. Or ذو أبعاد ثلاثة and جوهر. We have different fasl and different jins. Each fasl and the jins that is corresponding to it, they can have some relation. But this relation is only in existence, not in definition, because it doesn't fall under that. بمعنى أن الجنس غير مأخوذ في حده. Jins is not taken in the definition of fasl. Because if it was taken inside, so if natiq by itself had two parts, jins, and then it had to have also fasl. So every fasl has to have jins and fasl. Then the other fasl has jins and fasl. So we will never end anywhere. وَإِلَّهِ احْتَاجَ إِلَى فَصْلٍ يُقَوِّمْهُ. Then it by itself needed another fasl to constitute it. And then we move the discussion to that one, the second fasl. And يَتَسَلْسَلْ بِتَرَتُّبِ فُصُولٍ غَيْرَ مُتَنَاهِيَةٍ. This means that we would have endless fusul. Okay, alhamdulillah, we finished chapter 5. Now, inshallah, next session we will talk about فَالنَّوْعِ وَبَعْضِ أحكامه وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.
I think when that says human beings are different, it could also mean that